With version 2.4 coming to an end, we now have to start preparing for version 2.5. And the first step that we have to take is to actually take a look at the character that will release in version 2.6. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how and why that is right now. The character that we have to look at that releases in version 2.6 is Recoleta. That is because of many reasons, so let me dive into this topic. First of all, Recoleta is from the mineral afflatus, and most players already play mineral teams with like Semmelweis as their main DPS, or even Jiu Nangzhe that even sees a re-release in version 2.5. So with Recoleta also being from this mineral afflatus, most people would not be in desperate need for another main DPS of that set afflatus. That is why she could be pretty useless for your roster, as you don't need another mineral main DPS character. There is one more extremely huge thing you have to know here, and that is that if you want to make Recoleta like really useful, then she will be extremely expensive, because what would make Recoleta so extremely busted is her portray 5, and that's not gonna be cheap. There is more, as you would need to obtain yourself at least one copy for Pickles and max out his entire Euphoria. So why would I not recommend pulling for Recoleta if you do not go for this portray 5? This portray 5, by the way, is the most busted thing in the game. It's the best portray 5 in this game, but like by far nothing else comes even remotely close to it. And we will find out why right now. So to find out why this portray is so massively busted, we first of all have to take a look real quick into her insight, as it will grant you Moxie +2 or even Moxie +3 if you go inside 3, which you would do. So it would be Moxie +3. That is extremely important, because if you now look at Recoleta's ultimate, Recoleta is first of all a character that evolves all around using her ultimate. Like, that's her thing. That's what makes her good, and that is what you mostly use. Another note real quick is that she also provides additional Moxie to herself passively in order to be able to use this ultimate on a regular basis, right? So what does this ultimate do? Let's read it, because every information here, there's a lot of information here that is really important. It's a mass attack. It deals 450 reality damage to all enemies, plus an additional 450% reality damage to the main target. It depletes all Moxie when cast, and for each Moxie that is depleted, this attack's ultimate might increases by 3%. Now remember, you as Recoleta, you don't have access to 5 Moxie, but you have access to 8 Moxie. So you want 8 Moxie and then use your ultimate. All 8 Moxie would be depleted, and for each Moxie depleted, that would be plus 3% damage. Alright. Remember the numbers, right? 450% twice, plus 3% for each of those 8 Moxie. And now take a look at her portray 5 one more time. It says that when you use Recoleta's ultimate, the reality damage is not 450 twice, it is now 650 twice. Now, you don't have to be a genius in mathematics to realize that this legitimately already increases her damage from her ultimate by 400%, right? Let me repeat that. It increases her ultimate, which she is all about, by 400% already, okay? There's more though. It gets even more crazy, because now remember that you have 8 Moxie, and for each Moxie that you deplete by using this ultimate, the damage of this ultimate increases by a further 3%. That would be a total increase of 24% of her ultimate's damage. Okay, 24% more damage if at 8 Moxie. Let's go back to her Portray 5 one more time. I have to put a lot of emphasis on it. This is extremely important and key. So for each Moxie that you consume, your damage would not be increased by 3%, but instead this effect doubles to 6% now. So that would make a total of 48% ultimate damage increase if at 8 Moxie. Each Moxie that is depleted by using this ultimate increases its damage by 6% further, on top of this 400% already. Like, again, you can do this like by yourself, right? I don't even need to show you. I did it. I checked it. Compare this Portray 5 with any other Portray 5 in this game that you possibly want, and you will find nothing that comes remotely close to this. This is the most busted thing in the game by far, right? And yeah, the reason, right? Let's take a look at it again. So yeah, 400% damage increase. This damage here doubles when you deplete at least 5 Moxie, which you would always do. You always deplete 8 Moxie, in fact, unless you wanna end the game earlier. And yeah, you understand what I mean. You get how this works. And when you deplete at least 5 Moxie, this ultimate might bonus is doubled again. So the point here that I'm making is that this ultimate it is so comically and ridiculously over the top busted as the hell if you Portray 5 Recoleta. And one more time, that's what you would have to do. Like, if you pull for Recoleta, you do not just get 1 copy, you get this Portray 5. There's no way around it, otherwise don't pull for her. The only way you could still consider pulling for Recoleta and obtain just 1 copy is if you do not have any Mineral Afflatus main DPS character in your roster, which is, as I said, like really, really unlikely. So keep that in mind, that if you want this Portray 5, if you want Recoleta, you want her Portray 5, and this is gonna cost you a whole lot of Unilogs. So in version 2.5 you need to, in fact, skip everything completely and save up every single Unilog that you possibly somehow can, to ensure that if you want Recoleta, if you want the most broken character in the entire game, then you have to Portray 5 her. If you do, you have like by far the best character in the game. Like, it is really not even remotely close. But it is gonna be extremely expensive because you have to obtain her 6 times to Portray 5 her. So yeah, this is gonna be a decision that I cannot take for you. You have to make that decision for yourself. I just wanna give you this information that this is gonna be by far the best character in the game at Portray 5. And there's more, because in version 2.5 we get a rerun for the character Pickles in the Euphoria banner, and he will get his Euphoria update, and his Euphoria update supports mineral characters as well. So yeah, let's just look at Pickles and his Euphoria update really quickly, right? I will make a dedicated video for the Euphorias. But yeah, let's take a look at this, and let me show you just real quick why this is so good. Why you would need or want to pair Pickles and with his Euphoria with Recoleta. That is because if the ally in front of Pickles is from the mineral afflatus, which Recoleta is, then you cast a incantation every single round for free. Casting this this incantation for free does not only grant you this one Moxie that it would usually do, but there is an effect called Clarified Topic, which Pickles always is, and you cast this incantation here for free with Clarified Topic, so you get every single round 2 Moxie onto Pickles passively for free without you even using an incantation, right? Of course there's more, but we're gonna dive into all of this later. So you get every single round 2 Moxie on Pickles for free, and you dispel all positive starters, stats up, counter from the opposing enemy team without you even playing Pickles, right? He does this passively every single turn. So why is this good? Obviously, right? You generate Moxie out of the wazoo without even you using any incantations to begin with. And then if you look at his ultimate, right? Remember already what Recoleta's ultimate does and how the percentages stack up like crazy on her, you know? And now Pickles takes this a step further, because after you use his ultimate, your other characters, every single one in fact, deals plus 30% for 3 rounds. As well. So there's even more percentages stack up onto this Recoleta ultimate if you use Pickles. Of course, Pickles does even more, right? You get 2 buffs out of those 4 if your main DPS is from the mineral afflatus. That would give her even more damage, her penetration rate, her crit damage. She could gain leech rate from this even, right? You always get 2, so you always increase your damage with this even further, right? Again, like the point that I'm trying to make this with this video is Recoleta at Portray 5 is beyond busted. But she needs her Portray 5, and therefore she is extremely expensive. And you can boost her even further if you have Pickles with his Euphoria update. And that's about it, right? That is a very important note that I wanted to get out there to prepare you for version 2.5. If you want Recoleta, you have to Portray 5 her, and you want to get Pickles with his Euphoria updated. And if you want to go for this, then you have to keep in mind that you skip everything else in version 2.5. The other characters are completely irrelevant, and you have to gain every single Unilock that you possibly can and save it up right now. That's it for the video though. I hope that was informative and fun. If you like reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.